Kehinde Wiley was born on February 28, 1977 in Los Angeles, California. He is a famous painter known for doing contemporary realistic portrait paintings. Wiley is known for paintings depicting African American men and women in positions of power that look similar to famous European paintings from the 16th through 19th century. An example of this can be seen in his painting, Napoleon Leading the Army Over the Alps, which is on the left side of this screen. It is similar to the famous painting Napoleon Crossing the Alps by French artist Jacques-Louis David on the right-hand side. As you're looking at these paintings side by side, ask yourself, what is similar between the two and what is different? Another example of Wiley taking inspiration from famous paintings is the piece Charles First at the Hunt, which was originally done by famous Flemish artist Anthony van Dyck back in 1635. The original is on the right, and Wiley's interpretation is on the left, in which he calls by the same name, but in French, Le Roi à la Chasse. People who were painted back in the 16th through 19th century were often royalty, or they were very wealthy. Most of Wiley's models are not famous, and they have no experience in modeling. He will often have them pose in their everyday clothes. Something you will notice in Wiley's paintings is that the backgrounds are highly decorative. He tends to paint floral or filigree patterns. He uses florals to have the models look softer, or he'll use filigree patterns to make the model look like royalty. Wiley paints Black people because historically they are underrepresented in the art world. His goal is to show that, regardless of skin color, anyone can be represented in fine art. One of his most famous paintings is of former President Barack Obama, and it was created in 2018 and now resides in the National Portrait Gallery. If you're interested in seeing one of Wiley's paintings, you can go to the Milwaukee Art Museum. There you will see the painting Saint Dionysus. It was created in 2006 and is oil on canvas. For our Kehinde Wiley-inspired portrait, you will need a large white poster paper, a pencil, and any coloring supplies you would like. First, you're going to want to decide who you are going to draw. You can do a self-portrait, which is a picture of yourself, or you can do a portrait of someone else. Wiley likes to draw people he meets on the street, but you can draw a parent, a friend, a celebrity, a person you see in a magazine. Draw whoever inspires you. I decided to draw Amanda Gorman. She is 22 years old and the first ever National Youth Poet Laureate. She is also the youngest inaugural poet in U.S. history. Her cover on Time magazine looked just like something Kehinde Wiley would paint, so I decided to take inspiration from that cover. Brainstorm the pose you want the person to have in your portrait. For example, Wiley is known for putting his models into powerful poses similar to famous European paintings. So what does a powerful pose look like to you? Wiley's paintings are known for being massive in size. Draw your portrait on the large poster paper if you can, but you can always cut the paper in half if you want to do a smaller portrait. After you've drawn your person, go ahead and design your background. Wiley often uses floral patterns or ornate filigree to symbolize power and royalty, but you could choose to do other patterns and symbols for your background. Flowers hold a lot of symbolism. I chose to draw 3 different types to symbolize Amanda Gorman. I chose the gladiolus, which means strength, verbena, which is creativity, and primrose, which is youth. Once you've drawn everything in pencil, you can outline it in black marker or pen. You will want to color your portrait with whatever material you want. Examples include crayons, colored pencils, markers, tempera paint, oil pastels, whatever you want. I chose to do my Amanda Gorman-inspired portrait in mostly marker, and I also used some oil pastels. As you're watching the progression of my drawing being finished, remember that these things can take a long time to do. The bigger the paper you have to draw on, usually the longer it takes. So imagine what it must be like for Wiley to paint on an even larger canvas. You will see now my finished piece of Amanda Gorman, and I do have a picture of myself next to her, so that way you can see the size difference. Once you are finished with your masterpiece, don't forget to sign it and date it. Kehinde Wiley is one of my favorite artists. I really enjoyed creating art inspired by his work, and I hope that you do too. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you at the next art lab.